Hi everybody, welcome back to the Hot and Cold Hobbyist. I'm John Woods. In today's video, I'm going to be going through my snowboarding gear for the 2024-2025 winter season. I am going to include some unboxings of the different things I've been picking up over the off season. And I'm even going to set up my board on video so you can see what kind of riding setup I have. I have here some new training workout equipment. It is the Yes for All 3-in-1 balance board training system, and I am excited to cut into this thing. Okay, got the foam, kind of that half circle rocker thing. I think I can use it with a board like this and with a board like this. This I think is going to be the best snowboard training tool. It's inflatable. I'm going to have to pump this up, but it is like a bubble. So I've got to balance in all directions while I'm using it on this thing. And then we have the roller to balance back and forth. Also, I believe could be used both directions to practice toe and heel edge stuff and pressure on either foot and balancing that way. Comes with its own pump and needle for this thing. And got a couple little stoppers that are going to go on the bottom of the board. I have some screws, looks like they're hand tightened, which is good. That means I don't need any extra tools because I didn't bring any extra tools. And here is the board itself. Very skateboard grip tape. I mean, like a Walmart skateboard grip tape. But it is there, it's got grip to it. Yes for All sketched logo. And on the back, see, it's already got these rubber bumpers, but then I should be able to put these on here to give myself, if I'm using the roller, give it kind of a stopping point to make it more or less challenging. I believe they can be put on this way as well if I want to go back and forth. So that's the whole set. Classic basketball, soccer ball, football trick. There we go. And there you go. Balance on top of that thing. Let's just see how this feels. First impressions. Oh boy. Woo! Okay, so obviously gonna have to work the snowboard muscles. Right, okay, toe edge, heel edge, oh boy. I can already feel it in the legs, but I'm already feeling how this can easily apply to snowboarding skills. So I have heard online that, just using a balance board is not necessarily going to improve your riding, but if you improve your balance, it's going to help your riding. So maybe not a direct translation to snowboarding skills, but working snowboarding muscles and working on balance, which is extremely important on a snowboard. I think this is going to be a great tool, and I'm really excited to start using it. Time for another unboxing, or unbagging in this case. It happens to coincide with my birthday, and that's why I'm doing the unboxing / bagging here, because I know it's snowboarding related gear and I want to include it in this gear video. Here we go. What, you can't read that? It's magnetic goggles from Odoland. These are an upgrade to my goggles because they are magnetic lens. Snow goggles are snazzy, stylish, and they come in the set with both a sunny weather lens and a low light lens. So it's supposed to be super easy to pop these magnetic lenses off, unclip, unclip. It's supposed to be super easy. I'm new to magnetic lenses, so let's figure this out. Hey! There's a lot of stuff in these instructions. For example, when having lunch, remove the snow on the ski goggles firstly, then independently place it in a dry and warm place to dry. Anyway, so you gotta pop it all the way until it unlocks. So that's the part I was missing before, and now they should come right off. Oop. Ta-da! Not sunny weather, take these off, boom. Clip it closed, and go night riding. Now, these do fit over my glasses, but I am not one to wear glasses while I do like action sports, so I will be fitting these over my helmet, which I will show you shortly. This is the Smith Holt snow helmet in white. I have it pretty well. I may need to, adjust the tightness and stuff just to make sure I am good to go on the mountain, but this is probably the most important thing because it protects me. When I picked this up, I was just going through some gear online, thehouse.com. Great place to pick up gear online if you know what you're looking for. I didn't necessarily know what I was looking for in a helmet. I just wanted a good one and a well-reviewed one. I didn't realize I was picking up probably one of the most popular brands of snow helmet out there. The Holt model, I'm not necessarily sure everybody's using that, but I see Smith on like half the riders out on the mountain. The next thing, snow goggles. This is a swappable magnetic lens. I'm pretty sure in most situations I'll be able to just, have one lens in the car and probably pick the lens I'm using for the day. There might be a few situations where I stay long enough that the light changes and I need to go back for a lens, but it'd be a good time for a break, go back to the car, or maybe I have a locker in the lodge or something. So shouldn't be too much of an issue to not carry it on me. I really don't want to snowboard with a backpack. I feel like I fall backward too much, and I don't want to break things. Me or equipment, for that matter. To stay warm, I have a Columbia Snowglide Interchange coat. It has this like thermal removable liner. With this thing, I stand around in 20-degree weather and get a little toasty sometimes. And for gloves, I have a couple different options. A little bit more basic, very basic. Just snow gloves, nothing fancy. But my better gloves, and for lower temperatures, are these puppies. These are like literally for Arctic workers, explorers, whatever. They are incredibly insulated, waterproof. There is not a lot of situations where your hands will be cold in these gloves, especially not in Washington State. For boots, I have the Chamonix Lognan. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a French brand. I'm trying my best here. Pretty basic. I don't mean that as a negative. I just mean they're sort of classic lace up. They're a stiff boot. They do exactly what you need them to do. I actually think they look really sharp. I really like them. When I shop for boots, when these things, this part touches this part and it's basically dead, I will probably go for a little bit more high-tech boots. Still, no problem with these, and if you're on a budget, you can get something similar from Chamonix. Perfectly fine. Do it. The board I am riding right now is a Rossignol District Black, the 2023 model, I believe. I got it on discount just at the end of that season. It is a hybrid camber profile, so it has just like from here to here, here to here. Very small camber region in the center. And then big rocker sections here. It works really well for a beginner board, I would say. I haven't ridden like a flat base, but my understanding is it kind of has a similarity to a flat base where you can kind of maneuver easily on the snow, but then you're also not basically like a saucer just spinning around like you would on a rocker board. I have liked this much better than the rental board I had my first time out. I know Rossignol is more of like a ski company that makes snowboards, and so people don't really go for their boards that much. This one reviewed really well. Watched and read several different reviewers use this board, and they've said like it surprised them for not being an expensive board, for having the profile it is, and for being made by Rossignol. I have on here some Dakine studs that I'm using as a stump pad there. I did just finish waxing this. That video will be dropping tomorrow. So go ahead and check out my first DIY waxing video. Enjoy that as I struggle through and use way too much wax. Now I do want to show you in this video how I'm setting up my board. I do set up my own board. I don't have anybody else do it, and last year I realized that I set it up wrong. I went riding on it a couple times. I rode fine. I enjoyed the ride, but I didn't actually look into everything before I, picked a stance width, before I understood the importance of having the boots centered on the length of the board, and then my stance angles I did actually think about quite a bit, and I had myself at my front foot at a +12 and my back foot at a -9. In my workouts, my balance exercises, all of that, I realized I needed a pretty wide stance, and I do feel a little more balanced if I have my feet even more angled outward. So I'm gonna go +15 on the front foot, -12 on the back foot. Just that slightly turned directional riding, but really it's pretty close to a symmetrical duck stance, and I will adjust that through the season if I'm feeling like I'm riding one way more, or I'm really needing a lot of switch riding and I need it perfectly even, plus and minus. I don't know if I'll ever be one of those people that puts them both positive and carves down the mountain that way. Maybe that'll be the kind of riding I enjoy the most after I have more laps under my belt. So these are the Rossignol Battle bindings, recommended binding for my board, for my boot size. These are a traditional strap-in binding, no fancy step-in feature or anything. One day I might look into like the Clue step-in bindings that work with a regular boot, but that is, I have a hard time spending more on a binding than I would on my board. So we'll see. Future goals, I guess. So what I need to do to set this up properly, to center my boot on the board as much as possible, I need to push this all the way back so that the binding is sitting as far back as I can. That's because the toes stick out quite a bit from the binding. So I need to set that up. So I had as narrow of a stance as I could possibly get last time. Now that I'm feeling like I have more balance with my legs out wider, I'm going to go to the reference stance, which puts the center of my boot at about 23 inches, maybe even 23.5. That is a wide stance, and I may adjust that later in the season. We'll see how it goes. I do want to start out that way because I think my stance was too narrow. It was wearing out my legs, and I was not using my knees quite as well as I should have. And we're also going to get this to plus 15 degrees. Here, that is securely on there. So that should be perfect. The other thing I did last year, and I think I'm going to keep it, is I have basically where I can see 3 notches here push down, and that creates a little more forward lean, so my high back only goes to there instead of standing all the way up. Encourages a little bit more bent knees, and that should be helpful to ride with better posture. So there it is. That's the reference stance. We also have 3 notches of forward lean, We've got it sitting as far back as possible, and once I ratchet one of these boots in there, the boot should be pretty well centered to the board. You'll probably notice, if you know anything about this, I think my board is a little bit narrow for my boot size. It's not enough that I'm really worried that it's going to actually cause problems on the mountain, but it is probably noticeable that I can't quite get that perfect, like, you know, centimeter, half inch of overhang on both sides of the board. There we go. About an inch on each side, and nice position for the foot. Nice angle, nice stance width. But that's it. You got the helmet, goggles, coat, gloves, board, bindings, boots, all set up, ready to go out on the mountain for the first time. Check out the waxing video, which is coming out just tomorrow. And then once Stevens Pass opens up, taking this thing out. By the time you see this video, I probably will have already been at the mountain. I will get that video of my first run out there as quickly as possible so we can enjoy the winter season on the channel. Give the video a like if you like watching these kinds of gear setups, gear videos, golfing gear, snowboarding gear, whatever, what you like to see. Like it. It helps me know things, helps people see these videos out there on YouTube. Also, subscribe while you're here. Sign up for notifications so you don't miss tomorrow's waxing video or my first time out for this season of boarding. Thanks for watching, everybody.